Wait, I'm not ready. No, I'm just fucking with you.
No, that's it. That's just recorded.
All right.
Edit that out, boss.
You get it. Got him. All right. What's up, everybody? We are back with another one. Have a very special guest today. The creator of My Vampire System, JKS Manga. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Relaxing day. It's Chinese Valentine's Day today.
Oh,
so,
no way. That's awesome.
Oh,
You already got the day planned out?
Did you
work?
Did you get the wife anything?
Well, no, I'm so busy writing. I really don't have time to do anything. So, but she understands. It's for the future, right? It's for the future.
Oh, right. Be like, just bear with it a little bit longer. Right, bear with it just a little bit longer. It's gonna be worth it. I promise.
Yeah, I've been saying that for 2 years.
Hey, but at least you can see the fruit, of the labor you put in so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, at least. The savior of all. See, I have something to show for it. But yeah. So first of all, glad you was able to join us today. Want to thank you on that. I know you have a very busy schedule, and you good, G?
Yeah, I'm good.
I was just laughing.
You know what I'm focusing at, bro. You know how that is. I'm good. Fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I got you. Got you, man.
It's been some trying times to get here, so.
Yeah, we've done a lot. We've done a lot to get to this point, but we're here. That's all that matters.
And to our fans, you guys don't understand what has been going on, what has transpired. So you just have to give my man Jack even more props. This dude's the man. He's the man. Right.
We're all best friends at this point. Y'all have literally no idea. No idea. But it's definitely a good thing. It's definitely a good thing.
Yeah. So we appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Definitely. So for those who may not have heard of My Vampire System yet, one, the webtoon is on the channel, people. The first 6 chapters. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go do it. But if you didn't know, the webtoon series is inspired off of the light novel, which is also called My Vampire System. So I would explain, but I know, Jack, you can do a way better explanation than I can as far as getting people a better idea of My Vampire System. So if you are so kind enough, can you please give the people just a better synopsis than what I ever could?
Yeah, sure. So as he said, my name's Jack and my pen name is JKS Manga. And My Vampire System is a web novel, and basically usually they're like the book form of a series before they turn into webtoons. A good example is like Solo Leveling. It was a web novel first. They released chapters daily. It got popular and then got turned into a webtoon. And that's basically what I'm trying to do as well. And My Vampire System is mixing in like the system type stories where you level up, you grind, you get stronger, you get abilities, and also mixing that with vampires. So basically it says in the synopsis, like, he gets a quest saying if he doesn't drink blood within the hour, then he'll start losing 1 HP every hour. So basically the struggles with adding the system and vampire aspect to it. So it's a system vampire story.
Which I like. Now, I do have a question. We know you have 2 other series, My Dragon System and My Werewolf System. Now, we know there are similar crossovers between each series. We might see a few characters here and there with different series. But have you ever thought about doing kind of like a versus with My Werewolf System and My Vampire System, kind of putting the 2 against each other? Kind of like a hypothetical fan favorite versus battle.
Yeah.
But not in the sense of Twilight, but we know it.
Not so much just
Twilight, more like version, Underworld,
but Underworld.
I just want to make people clear about that, because like even though this is a vampire series, this is a vampire action series, and that's why I made it, because there were so many vampire romance stories, and I was like, why can't they just have cool, vampire basically stories with the powers and everything? So that's why I made it. But to your question, I have, because people always comment it about all the time. They're like, oh, the main character from my dragon system, is he stronger than the main character from my vampire system, right?
Yeah.
So they ask this all the time, and I have thought about it because mainly I watched the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, and there's a Yu-Gi-Oh movie where they get all three of the main protagonists into the same into the same world, and I think they did that pretty well. But I would like to do it where they get into the same world, and at first they kind of fight against each other, and then they fight against the main main thing, because then that will kind of answer the question of, who's the strongest out of the main characters from each series.
Kind of like Godzilla versus Kong, the recent movie, how they fought against each other, and there was a clear winner, even though a lot of people didn't like the clear winner, which I don't know why. I mean, it was obvious to me before the movie ever started. But if you were to do something like that, would there be a clear winner like that, or would you leave it up to interpretation? Just to get people talking more.
I think even if, because the difference between this one and Godzilla is, in Godzilla and King Kong, there's two characters, right? From mine, there would be three characters. There is definitely, for people who've read my stories, there's definitely 100% a clear winner already, and I think everyone knows that. But the other two would be undecided. I would do a clear winner because I don't like to do the things where you make up your own ending, or because then people argue, right? They just argue oh no, he would have won if they did this, or he would have won if he did this. So it's no, I'll just stop all the arguments. I'm the right.
That's the sweetness of the barbershop talk, man. That's what we're supposed to do. That's the human nature to debate, man.
You can also look at it like a marketing thing. Yeah, look at it like a marketing thing, because people will keep talking, be like, well, if he did this, and then, but if he did this, and it'll just keep the conversation going until maybe a sequel or something to that nature, or a sparring match between them happens years later, and then you'd be like, now I'll give you a clear answer.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to do because of the timelines. So, like I told you before, my dragon is set thousands of years in the past, medieval times. My werewolf is urban, so current times, like solar leveling, and my vampire system is year 3000, future spaceships and stuff like that. But I think I'll find a way to bring them all together. But maybe what can be interesting is maybe they won't be at their peak strength when they get brought over. So that those arguments can still happen. They're like, oh, if he was, what he was before, or if he was, So yeah,
just to give you some ideas, Now, I know people will probably ask, if you were to do it, would you do it in novel form or webtoon form?
So if it's so the good thing is, if it's a one-off, right? If it's like a movie, I could do it as a 5-episode webtoon type thing, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. The only problem with that is at the moment. So at the moment, I own the rights to my werewolf system. I don't own the rights to my dragon system or my vampire system. That belongs to Web Novel when I signed the contract. So I would have to either discuss with them and ask them, can I do this, or they would have to do it.
Well, everybody in the comment section below, if you would like to see the 3 main characters from each story in a battle, a versus battle, death battle, if you will.
My System Universe battle.
Yeah, the My System Universe battle. Definitely leave a comment, yes or no, yay or nay. And also, who do you think will win?
So even though he says his true readers would know who's gonna win.
Yeah,
but
the true readers would know already.
Yeah, so.
But then again, some stories are yet to be completed, so you never know.
Yeah, we never know how much stronger these characters get.
Yeah, things could change.
All right, so we
I would like
already
to think.
we already did the combined universe information. So let's go back to the beginning though. How did it all start with Vampire System? What was the main idea that sparked it, and then give us a rundown to the success up to this point, because people that don't know how successful My Vampire System actually is. So let's just do that. Let's go through that.
Yeah, sure. So, interesting thing, I actually started writing because of the virus. So, before I started writing, I was always into manga, and I tried doing my own manga, tried doing my own webtoons, but it didn't work out. It's a bit harder to make money from those because you're paying an artist or you're paying someone. And then during the virus, I was like, oh, why don't I start writing? Right, let's start writing web novels or light novels. And I was stuck at my girlfriend's grandparents' home. So I had absolutely nothing to do, couldn't go outside. So I just wrote, and that's when I wrote My Dragon System. Now, that did well, but it got, on web novel wise, it only got into the top 50. And then Web Novel brought out a competition saying, make a new story and you can win $10,000 and you can get your story on the New York Times billboard. And basically that's why I started writing Vampire One. Originally they weren't meant to be linked. I just wanted to write, one of the themes was, the story competition had themes, and one of them was evolution. And I thought, oh, it'd be cool to see like a vampire evolve into like other things and get stronger. So that's why I did that story with the system. And then, that went to number one. I won the award. So I got the $10,000. My work was on the New York Times Billboard Square. And ever since, the web novel have just been promoting it like crazy, doing adverts, live action adverts. I think at the moment it's got 8 million sales. And just to put it, because like you said, people don't really know how popular My Vampire System is. If you compare it to the official solo leveling novel, it outsells it all the time. So like even top sales, it outsells solo leveling novel wise, and only official English, because we don't have information on how well solo leveling sells in Korea and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, so it's been number one for like a year now, so year and a half. So it's been quite a long time.
Hey, the king of the novels, huh? I like that. So speaking of novels and My Vampire System, you have 2 new series in the works that you announced on your Instagram. And for those who want to follow him on his Instagram, don't worry, all of his social media links and everything else that he is involved with will be in the description below, so all of you can follow and join each one of those. But you've announced Level Up Zombie and a brand new one, which is a romance, To the Future and Back, First Love Leap. So can you give the audience a brief description about both? Let's start with Level Up Zombie.
Yeah, sure. So my wife just came in the back as well. Level Up Zombie is another system story, and it's probably going to be my last system story for a while, because I've written 3 in a row now, and this is a 4th one. But it's not linked. It's not linked to that world, so it's a complete separate story. But basically, same sort of themes, where I like to put characters in difficult situations. So the main character is the zombie, and then he's going to get a quest like saying, oh, go out and infect 10 people to level up and stuff like that. So it's how he struggles with the like quest given to him, and like he's still got a human brain basically, but he is a zombie. And so it's really, I always like doing that. That's why I like the vampire stuff, guard and suck blood, otherwise you're going to die, zombie stuff. The werewolf one, he has trouble, like the full moon is going to be in 14 days, so he's got to figure out what to do before the full moon. So yeah, that's what I like. And I love apocalyptic stories, but what I kind of hate a lot of the times is when you watch a zombie series, it gets too much about the people. Yeah. Like just people against people and not against the zombies. Right. Like, and then the zombies become like an extra thing. And because the main character is a zombie in this, I want to make zombies like the main focus.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
So
that's
with
very
the
true with like the zombie stories
right.
because the zombies are afterthoughts in those stories, like mostly all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, so seeing it from
Definitely.
the eye of the zombie and its mindset is gonna be interesting as hell. So plus we already seen a snippet, so it looks awesome.
Yeah, definitely looks awesome. So with Level Up Zombie, any inspirations from any zombie movies or anything to that nature?
Shows.
Zombie stories.
You guys were talking about Warm Bodies last time, saying it was one of your favorite series.
Yeah.
Oh, favorite movies, sorry. Yeah, and I remember watching that in the cinema, and I did really enjoy it. So, but I would say, like, I don't know. I've just really liked the survival. Like, I think more game wise, I like playing like the survival type games and survival series. And I just like this theme of the main, like the switch, right? You're following the zombie instead of the human. So I just like the switch on that side.
All right. So out of all the characters you've created in your world, which one is your favorite?
So I like OP characters, but I don't like them as main characters. It's actually hard from a writer's perspective if your main character is the OP character, because you have to find interesting ways to keep the story going, because you don't have that weak to strong thing. So I love having OP characters in the story, because when they appear, you're like, oh crap, the hype moments happen.
Right.
But you don't want that. Like, I'll give you an example. In One Punch Man, you really follow the other guy, Zenos. You follow him more, and then the One Punch guy comes in later. So you have to kind of do it like that if you're gonna do an OP story. But yeah, so in my vampire system, there's a guy called Arthur who is like really OP, and yeah, it's like I love writing him. Whenever I write him in the story, like all the comments go like crazy. So
definitely a fan favorite, huh?
yeah.
So speaking of fan favorite, I know a lot of different authors and companies do this popularity polls on characters. Have you done one for my vampire system yet?
Yeah, so on the web novel app, there was a popularity poll. So they had all the not all the characters. They had the starting main characters. So the characters that you get introduced at the beginning. And basically, you voted for your favorite character, and whoever won would get a side story. Now, the problem was, and I said this as well, I complained to them, they put the main character in the poll. And, like, it's who's Quinn, right? And it's like, the main character usually, even if they're not the best character, will usually always win.
Right.
Yeah, and the other thing was, when he did win, because he did win the poll, I was like, how the hell am I writing a side story on the main character? You already know his whole story. Like, I'm writing a story about him. So, and then I remember when I brought out the side story, the only thing I could do was a prequel before he got the book, right? That was the only thing I could do. And people were like, yeah, we this added nothing to the story. And I was like, it wasn't my fault. But the person who won second is a character that hasn't been introduced in the webtoon yet, who is also a pretty badass character. He's a blind swordsman. So yeah, he's interesting character.
Okay, all right.
Well, what was your initial thoughts on the success of the My Vampire system?
It was crazy, like, because I didn't even think I was going to win the competition I was entering. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, I'll just write another story. If I do well, I'll do well. And then when it got, I think in like the first couple of weeks, it got to, before it was even contracted. So usually web novel you write, and then when it's popular, you get a contract. But this got popular so quick that it was already ranked 3 before it got contracted. And yeah, so then it finally got contracted, and I like the the sales were like crazy and everything, and it feels unreal. I think I can't remember what it's called, like a symptom or whatever it's called, where if you get success too quickly, you don't feel like you deserve it. And it really has been like literally overnight success. There was no build up with Vampire System. It was just it just keeps going up. So I haven't changed my lifestyle. So it's really like I still do everything exactly the same. Although I think part of that's the virus. I can't really go holiday or anything. Yeah, yeah.
That definitely could be a thing.
So how much longer does it have to this story completes?
Yeah, so like it. I originally planned 8 arcs because whenever I write my stories, I plan the beginning and end, and I put them into seasons like TV shows. So I had 8 seasons planned, and we're on the 6th or 7th. I'm not sure. All I know is there's 2 more to go after this one. Right. But the thing is, so even though it's close to the end, these arcs have the most like ends that need to be closed and will go on for quite a long time. So these arcs alone are probably the whole story so far. So yeah, probably another year, a year and a half.
Okay. Coming to a close. Now I do want to kind of revert back because I was reading your post earlier about your new romance novel, and you kind of described it as a mixture between Erased and Tokyo Revengers. Now, Tokyo Revengers is probably the hottest series out right now. So, I definitely want to get some more info on this romance novel that's kind of a mixture between those two, because that sounds extremely interesting. So if you
well, because they're both, when I say like Erased and Tokyo Revengers, they both have a time traveling aspect to it, right? Correct. They both go into the past and they have to they're trying to fix something. Now, the reason why it's very much like Tokyo Revengers is he's doing everything because he's trying to save his past girlfriend. Now, this one's kind of a switch because she can go into the future, not the past. And she's doing everything she can to save her future husband, even though they're not together currently. And she's trying to find out what happens between now and the future. So in the future, her husband's already dead. So she's trying to find out what killed him, basically. And the reason why I'm saying it's more similar to Revengers is because in romance there's not usually an action aspect, but I want to involve like because I'm a mainly action writer, I do want to involve like a gang aspect to it and like a detective play, because the thing is, Erased is more like a thriller,
right?
Yeah, so I would say the storyline follows similar to Tokyo Revengers, where they're trying to save someone, but the story feel will have a thriller feel like Erased, where you feel like the main character's being watched or something's happening. Why isn't what she's doing working, basically?
Okay. And do you have a release date on that yet? Or
it's already released. It's already released. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was just waiting. I didn't want to announce anything because I was waiting for it to get contracted. It's contracted now, so that one's already released. That one's for this year's competition. So the competition I won last year, they're doing the same competition this year, and this time I decided to enter the female side because they're adding a TV or movie adaptation as one of the rewards. Unfortunately. Wow. Yeah, and unfortunately, that wasn't a reward last year. Otherwise, that would have been great, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I asked because I go to these events all the time with WebNovel, and I asked them, and they have like TV producers and everything there, actors, and I asked them, like, they always ask me, oh, these Chinese books have been made into TV shows. Are they going to make My Vampire System into a TV show? And the main problem with my vampire system is it's sci-fi. And with it being sci-fi, it costs a lot more money to produce.
Right.
Whereas if you have a romance one that's just based in high school, right, you only need actors, you don't need to pay for CGI and things like that. So mine would be a high risk, like to put that much money and to gamble if it will do well or not.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you got Tencent backing you, bro. That's not an issue.
Yeah. That's true. That's the thing people don't realize. Like, WebNova is owned by Tencent. Tencent's a huge company who already
that's
do
no
movies.
issue. That's like having Amazon backing you, bro. That doesn't sound like a problem.
I mean, it's a slow process. Like the Chinese web novel site is like 15. I think they've been going on for like 20, 15 years, and web novels has only been 3 to 4 years in the West. So we will get there. I think web novels will get there, but they need to do everything slowly first. Well, not slowly, but
and plus you need to finish your series before they even start doing anything like that, so you don't end up with a George R.R. Martin situation.
I mean, I gotta pump out chapters every day, so and there's enough content for. But yeah, I could imagine. I know what you mean. Sure. Yeah.
Damn stories was somewhere else.
Right.
You're just there like the dog. You're just there with like the dog beam with the fire going on. He's just sitting there. Everything's burning the hell down.
It's fine.
I wanted. The romance one is more because I want to aim for TV adaptation.
Right.
So that's why I want to do romance.
And that's like that's much. Don't hear it be up here on the CW.
That's more proud. It's more like, because the thing is, my dad and parents and stuff, if I tell them, hey, I got a webtoon, hey, I got a manga, hey, I got a thingy, they don't give a crap, right? Because they don't know what that is or how hard that is, right? Like, I was so proud, like, I got accepted to become a webtoon original, and I was so proud of that moment, right? It's like, I got a webtoon original, and it's like, no one in my friend circle or family circle knows like what the hell that is. Right. So I want to, and it's same with the web novel. If I say I'm the number one web novel, they don't really know what that means. So like, until I get a TV show or something that they can watch, then I'll be like, okay, I really feel like I have done something now, because they don't read books either. So it's like,
well, I think you're well on your way to getting that TV now. Hopefully, I don't know what all goes into the rankings on the new competition or anything, but I hope you get it. I definitely hope you get it, because I would love to see some works and then it come over here and then we can all go crazy together, party, all that good stuff. So definitely hope that's one. But so
and we are actually part of the process, so that's dope.
Okay. Yeah, and we actually and if we can help with the process, that will also be amazing as well, just icing on the cake. But so you have the webtoon version of My Vampire System. What made you start a webtoon when the novel is so crazy successful? Is it because we know mainly webtoons and mangas, especially if they already anime, especially if they already have like a light novel or manga, anime and webtoons is kind of like just to push the sales even more of the novel or the manga. So is that kind of the approach you want to take with the webtoon, just kind of to push the sales of the light novel more, or get more eyes, I should say, on the light novel more, or was it just a passion project for you?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of both, and I'll explain why. Like you said, the icing definitely, like, because people go from anime to manga to anime to manga to webtoons. And then when they've hit the webtoon wall, then they go to web novels or light novels. So that's like right at the bottom, right? So that's got the least audience. And webtoons is definitely the next thing. But unfortunately, because of my contract, I can't put out the webtoon on anything like on Webtoon or on Tapas or on those websites, because the contract is with Webnovel and those are competitor sites. So for me at the moment, it's definitely more of a passion thing, like giving back to all my readers. It's like, I would love to see my characters in a webtoon format and visualize it more. So I just want to give back to them. And then I do plan, when there's like 10 chapters or maybe 20 chapters, I can take it to Web Novel and say, look how popular it is. You guys should release this. And then it will just get more eyes on the book and everything.
Have you, so you have 7 chapters out currently. And for those who want to read the webtoon, they're on his Patreon. You can subscribe to his Patreon and help support the webtoon that way, because all the funding from the Patreon is strictly for the webtoon. So I do have a question. Have you seen any growth or heightened popularity with the webtoon version of My Vampire System? Like, can you kind of see the excitement for it? Is it getting popular amongst the fans or amongst people who've never read the web novel of My Vampire System?
I think it's hard because, like I said, it's only on my Patreon, right? So it's hard. How does the webtoon spread if it's only on my Patreon? So really, the only people that are sharing it are the ones who've read the web novel. Now, but I do see, like, if I post it on Instagram, or like they've made YouTube ads with the webtoon as well for the novel, people ask all the time, I can't find the webtoon, where is all I can find is the novel, where is the webtoon? And that's all I get comments all the time, like, where can I read the webtoon? I don't want to read the novel. Because some people don't, and fair enough, you know, I didn't read novels in the past as well. So like I would have been exactly the same. Like,
Yeah,
where's
same
the
here.
webtoon? You know,
I think I
so-
explained about my imagination sucking, so I need the pictures. But it does help. It does help now. I'll speak with JD about it. It does help now that, like, since you have the 6 or 7 episodes out, like, we get an idea of what the characters actually look like. So it helped with the reading of the novel.
That's a really good point, because that's how I got into web novels as well. I was reading Overgeared webtoon, and then I got to the latest chapters, and then someone was like, I just saw the comments talking about the web novel, and then I was like, all right, I'll give this web novel a try, because like you said, you've already got the picture and the world and the idea of what it looks like, so you can you read it, and then you don't mind reading it so much. But so I hope the same thing can happen. Like, if the web novel comes out, people read it, they get up to such a hype moment, they just can't wait anymore. They're like, I got to read the web novel.
Yeah, so
Right,
once you have like
definitely.
one full season of the webtoon, that's when they probably do that, because people are gonna be salivating for want more, and then they'll just go get the web novel for sure. That's what mostly happens to me. Like, I'll be watching something, I'll be like, "What? This has this? Let me go check this out," and then dive headfirst into it, and you're just like so far caught up, and you're just like, "What the hell?"
Like, you guys were talking about Game of Thrones, right? Exactly the same thing. Like, first season of TV show comes out, second season, it gets so hyped that loads of people went to buy and read the book because they love the show so much. So it's the exact same thing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. If people definitely like something, they will buy, the novel version or
For sure. I mean, that's really like Hunger Games was big, but once they did the Hunger Games movie, the books just like
right,
it went crazy. Yeah, you know. So
yeah, we can like continue with different series like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, so forth and so forth. All of those, the movies did phenomenal, which boosted the book sales even more. So
there's pluses to it.
But like you said, so that at least there's a sign that I'm probably getting there, because the book sales are already good, right? So there's and that's why they do it. If the book sales are already good, there's less risk when they release a movie that it will do really well. There's also flops as well, like Percy Jackson. That movie came out and it didn't do well, and the books kind of it sold more, but not as much as they would have liked to, and they just stopped making movies. So for every success, there's also the flops, which is why.
Yeah, but that comes down to like the perception of the movie and how the movie was done, dude. Like, sometimes you gotta do stuff right, you know, like kind of.
Sometimes we get no say, right? We talked about this.
Casting matters,
we talked
though,
about
man.
this when you said. When you guys asked me, what studio would you like to make your anime? And I said, the thing is, if any studio came up to me, I'd probably say yes, because I'm so excited, right? But like you said, if a bad studio takes it on, it can make the whole experience worse, and like everyone just think like, what the hell was that? Yeah.
Yeah and no, because then you get the thing like M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar, where we knew like this fool just messed up because like we knew. I was so annoyed because then everyone else who's watching that is like, I'm not gonna watch that shitty kid show because the movie's shit. You know, it's like it's same as Death Note, right? It's like you talk about people, you're like, oh, Death Note is such a good series, and then people go watch the movie on Netflix, and they're like, what shit is this? I'm like, trust me. Yeah, the Netflix ones, like, but the original Death Note movies, like 10, 15 years ago, were good.
Ones,
yeah, I heard those are really good. I haven't seen them yet, but I heard they were really.
Yeah,
really
I seen those in theater, bro. Like, they're legit.
Because the Japanese do a good job, like of making it like trying to actually follow the book, right, or try to follow, and they just cut out what they think is useless. Whereas for some reason, whenever an American studio gets it, they try rewrite the whole script. They're like, let's just rewrite it because.
Well, I mean, so they try to Americanize a lot of it too.
I understand it's hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that though. Like, I know a lot of people complain when films get Americanized or like whitewashed and stuff like that. But like, it's like I don't mind that because it's for the Western audience, right? It's not for Japanese people. So just like how Japanese people just make their films in Japanese. So I don't mind that too much, unless like you're changing a whole character. But
well, I mean. That's a thing, you know, try to make it for the you know, for this particular culture. But it's a certain disrespect when it goes a little bit too far. Example, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh my gosh. Yo, between that and Avatar, bro, I don't even know, bro. Like
that's my point. It's like it's some things that go a little too far and you like, this is just why.
Maybe why they got a fake race wrong, right? They got Piccolo wrong in that, and
they got everything wrong. It was horrible. It was downright the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. It was wrong on so many levels.
I watched that in the cinema as well, man.
That's what made it worse. Yeah. People paid money to go see this,
and you know what? Like, yeah, that also like just makes it worse because like at that point, Dragon Ball was already like at least 15 years old or something when he made that. So like at least when Avatar came out, it was only probably like 5 years old or something. So it was still much fresher. But Dragon Ball had this lineage already before they even did the damn movie. I was like, how did you mess that up? Like, Dragon Ball was already huge, bro, and they still messed it up. Like, that's the wild part.
I was gonna say, did you guys see they're still trying to do like the Avatar TV series or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, and they're having troubles with that. I think didn't the creators back out because they were having like
the original creators backed out because they're gonna make more episodes, so they've decided to do their own thing. But I think Netflix is still going ahead with the live action, just that now the original creators aren't involved in it. Which this is what I mean. So like, if it like sometimes you don't get a choice. If someone says, "I want to adapt your work," sometimes I will get no say whatsoever, and you kind of just have to go with the flow.
That's true. I mean, I know your favorite anime is One Piece. So how do you feel? Since we're on the subject of live action and adaptations, how do you feel about the Netflix live action One Piece series? How do you feel about that? Are you looking forward to it, or are you like?
I'm not because that's such a hard series to do. Yep. Like if you asked me what the hardest series to do was, I would have said that. Like it's great. Like the main character is so hard to get right. Like his style and like character, the powers, the whole world building in that. It's so hard. See, when they said Death Note, it was kind of simple, right? I thought it's going to be hard to get that wrong because there's not a lot of CGI. It's school based. I mean, and they still got that wrong. So
right,
like Dragon Ball. The only thing, like, even though I think Dragon Ball is worse than the Death Note movie, Dragon Ball I can accept because it's hard to do. right?
And
It's
then
hard
I mean,
to
at that time too, we're looking at what 15 years ago too. So the way that graphics,
Yeah,
and everything
technology.
it's
Yeah.
way different now.
yeah. So that's why I can accept it. Like, that is a hard show to do. So if it does bad, it's like, I understand why it went bad. I don't understand why Death Note did bad when it could have been a really good thing. Now,
And it was already good.
if One
I mean, it was
Piece,
copy what was already
Yeah.
made.
if One Piece doesn't do well, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I can't imagine. But you know, there was a period. People keep forgetting. There was a period where superhero movies were absolute crap.
Oh yeah.
And they started getting better, right? So, and the same with like game movies. Game movies still are quite crap, but I imagine they will slowly start to get better. So, like, I'm looking forward to like the Last of Us movie and like stuff like that.
Oh, the Uncharted movie last show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm hoping, like, and another thing, like, you know, the anime movies haven't done too well either. Like, was it Ghost in the Shell? Right, that didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't do well, and that had a high budget as well. Because sometimes you can blame it on the budget, but that had a high budget and it still didn't do well. But the Tom Cruise one is probably my favorite movie manga adaptation. It was called Live, Die, Repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I like that one.
Edge of Tomorrow is the real name.
Yeah. Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. That's like a low key favorite of mine, just personal favorite. I love that movie.
Yeah, I thought that's such a good movie, and it was based off the manga. They did it really well, but it didn't do that well in cinemas. So it's like, it's weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they should.
It's kind of like,
I don't think
you appreciate it more that it's gone now. Like,
but they did a good job with Alita though.
Alita, yeah, that was good.
Battle Angel.
That was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, did you watch that? That felt like it ended like halfway through the movie. Like, it felt like it had another half to go.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sequel. I don't know if it's coming or not. I know they was talking about it was supposed to be a sequel afterwards, but I don't know if that's coming. I don't know if it's in the works or they canceled it. I have no idea.
Yeah, because I think like with those shows, like, they make money, right? But sometimes they're like, if it doesn't make enough money, they won't bother with it.
Right. No matter how popular it is, if it's not where we want it, it's like, okay, I guess.
I don't know.
But, I'll have to see. I was gonna say, I'll have to see. Not the One Piece series. They're making Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
I'll have to see how the Cowboy Bebop series is. But I think that's easier to do than One Piece. I still think One Piece is so hard.
Because One Piece has so much to do with like the ocean, the sea, and then just Luffy and his stages. That'd be crazy, bro. But like
it feel like fake acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If someone acted like Luffy, it would feel like fake acting.
Power Rangers, bro.
Right.
Old school.
Yeah.
Bro, hold up. Wait, which Power Rangers? We talking about the old school Power Rangers, or we talking about the latest adaptation movie they did?
Like Turbo and stuff like that. Because I think the original was just enough cheesiness, like it was okay. But like, why'd you need that Turbo and like talking vehicles and stuff? Like, was just ridiculous, bro.
No.
And then the Blue Ranger that went like from this big to this.
Yeah. Now, since we're on this subject of Power Rangers, I gotta ask y'all: how did you feel about the last reboot they did, the Saban?
I thought that movie was lit. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought it was fire too, and I had a discussion at work about this, and they was like they hated it. I was like, really?
What, the movie?
Yeah, the movie that came out probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think like it had that cheesy scene where they play the music when all the
all the at the end
Megazords come out or whatever. Yeah.
It came out in 2017. 2017, that's when it came out.
Yeah, that one. I saw that one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine as well. I enjoyed it.
I don't know. I doubt it's getting
that one caught me off guard because I thought it was gonna be shit. No, to be honest, when I seen the cast,
you know what? Maybe our perception of like good or bad is different, because when those movies come out, I'm just like, thank God it wasn't so cringy. Like,
well, I mean, too, because you look at our age now. Whenever the original came out, so that's where the cringe factor comes in. Like with the new Space Jam, that's what the new Space Jam is dealing with, because like we're watching and we're like, ooh, but like like it's not for us. It's not for us, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So neither was that
It's
Power
for
Ranger movie
kids.
for us, you know. Like that's the deal we run with because it's old stuff that
Yeah,
was
see,
initially
but I
ours,
thought-
but.
I know exactly what you mean, but I thought Power Rangers did it quite well. They didn't
They
childish
did. No,
it
they did.
too much.
They did it well.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that was
Yeah,
probably like
but-
what was the
but-
deal because
You're right about Space Jam.
yeah, when you look at like Power Rangers, and even if you look at the latest Ninja Turtle movies that came out like a few years back, like us, we were just like we don't know about those designs, like. But when you look at how turtles
Right.
actually look now, that is what it is. Like at least in the
Right.
cartoons, what Nickelodeon's doing or cartoon, I don't even know what channel it comes on, but whatever they're doing, that's how the
Nick.
turtles look. They look
Nick.
crazy, right? And
Right.
we looked at that and we're just like, oh, like why do they look like that? You know, they're like Beetleborgs or something. Like I don't know, but they just look bad, dude. But like when you took the kids to see it, they were just like, oh, that was fantastic. I'm like, what the hell? Like, no, you know,
Like,
but,
are you serious?
but hey, but Power Rangers did kind of like try to stay true to heart for us, for our age, you know.
Right.
So
And another one was Detective Pikachu. That was another good
That
one.
one was
I felt.
fire.
I felt Detective Pikachu.
Man, I only watched that 3 days ago or 4 days ago.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah, I never seen it. I liked it as well. I thought,
bro,
you know
that
what,
movie's
that
incredible,
hit, like,
dude.
I love the detail they put. Like, they were like statues in the background of like Dialga and like all this stuff. And I was like, someone who really likes. They got someone who actually plays the game and really likes Pokemon
Source
to
material,
design
dude.
everything, and I really liked it. I
Source
thought
material,
it was
for
such
sure.
a clever thing they did. Yeah, and I liked the
world actually
usually
looked like
as a
as if you
writer-
were playing like the game. The world looked like it, bro. Like it looked fantastic.
Right.
Even the Pokemon, like the stuff, the animal Pokemon, dude, they looked legit. Like they looked really good. Like when you had the scene when they were in like the battle arena, bro, that scene was so tight, dude.
Yeah. Charizard and
Yes,
Pikachu,
but you had the
right?
loud, like the
Right.
Loudreds that was just like going crazy, and then a
Oh yeah, I
like,
love that. I thought that was so clever. Like they actually used, and I kept pausing it and saying to my girlfriend, I was like, sorry, my wife. I was like, you don't know how like clever that is because that
It
Pokemon
is.
is a sound like, you know,
and it
but I was like,
fits.
this is
It
so
fits
good.
like where they would actually like be able to like do something in the world. Like where would you put this Pokemon at? You know, like we know for sure. Like if it's a Squirtle, let's go down to the sea because it's probably hanging out there. Or Magikarp, you know. But like where do these other ones fit in at? They did that so well, dude. Like it was great.
And the thing is, they couldn't do. The good thing is, you couldn't
Machamp's
do
like a
a
cop.
normal Pokemon movie. Like you can't do what like a main character going through 8 gym leaders and then fighting the Elite Four. That'd be boring as shit as well.
Yeah.
So like,
Watching him train in the grass.
They did it really well.
he spent the first 35 minutes training in the grass to get past Brock. He's like, "Come on, Charmander!
Right.
I gotta evolve you to Charmeleon in order to beat Brock. Or we're not getting past this." You catching a Caterpie, bro? Level a Caterpie up to Butterfree just to
Give me
beat Brock, bro.
Right, give me my Butterfree.
You were what was it? Route 3, bro. You're spending the first 8 hours of the game in Route 3, bro. So you're spending the first 45 minutes of the movie in Route 3 trying to get Caterpie, bro, to Butterfree. Or getting a
Yeah, it
Beedrill.
was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that would work as a series, you know, but not as a movie. As a movie, that would be horrible. But as a series, I do think that could work. If they
but
do it
Well
I think
paced, well
I
paced.
think it would. I think it would have the same problem that G said about like they would probably aim it at younger kids, and we would think it was trash.
I mean, yeah, because look at Pokemon now. Like, if you look at the latest like cartoon, bro, Ash looks completely different. He actually like he got younger. He looks like he's 8 now. You know, like the artwork is ridiculous. I'm just like, what in the hell is this? Like, what happened to Chubby Pikachu? Bro?
I mean,
like,
Ash is that character.
Ash about
it's probably
32
the
now.
one
He's got a
legacy
beard,
character.
bro.
Man, Ash is like 80. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like, if you think about it, Ash is the one legacy character from our childhoods that nobody really likes. And it's crazy. It's like, he's the main character, but like,
Bro, 'cause it
nobody
took
likes him because
it took him.
you should be the most OP character in existence.
Yeah, he
like what is wrong with you?
Like, I mean, granted, like it's already hard to make a league. This guy's made like 8 of them, and like he barely won. He barely won 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
They didn't do the they didn't do the thing that Yu-Gi-Oh did, where they switch out the main character, so you can start following a different main character, and then it does feel like, oh, you're building up again, and you're discovering this new world. And because it's Ash all the time, you just thought like, this weak guy, how is he still losing battles?
Hey, yo,
like,
he's in the crazy part. He would get like these beast Pokemon and then give them away. He's like, Lapras, go be with your family.
Right.
Lapras was clapping everything. Lapras,
Butterfree, don't fly away.
Remember his PGI when PGI came out? Oh, Charizard, bro,
Right.
just dump him in the island with
And then you let Charizard go. It's like, bro, that's your best line.
but the only good thing they did with that, talking about OP characters returning, it's good whenever they bring back Charizard, because
he just mops
they
everything
made
up.
him so OP. Yeah, exactly. So like that's really cool. It's like, oh my god, he's come back to save, and they usually link him in like the movies and stuff like that.
I just
But
love
yeah,
how they,
like,
I love how they
Pokemon's
gave him
not bad.
attacks that they couldn't get on the game though. Like you couldn't get seismic toss with
Right.
Remember
Like,
Charizard? He's seismic toss Dragonite, bro, who was bigger than him, bro. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, but they did some clever things, like Rhyhorn learned Surf in one of the TV shows, and they put that in the game. Like even though it's a rock type, he can learn Surf. Yeah. So
and we're like,
I guess since we're on the
completely that
I guess
way,
since
bro,
we're on
you
the
know?
subject, right? But hold on. I guess since we're on that subject of Pokemon, how are you? Do you have a Switch? First off, do you have a Nintendo Switch?
yeah, I did.
Are you getting the Legend of Arceus?
So honestly, I have no time for games at all. Like, I don't have time for games. I don't have time for TV series, anime. The only thing I can do these days is write and read webtoons. It's actually kind of a bad thing for a writer, because then you don't really know what's trending. Like, you don't know what's doing well, and then some writers do this thing where they just, because they've already got an audience, they keep writing the same thing because they know that audience is going to keep like buying that stuff because that's what they like, rather than trying to keep writing the new wave. So it's really hard for writers to keep writing the next big thing, which is why you hear so many times like they make a one-hit wonder, right, and then they never make another,
or they try to
series again.
Their next series is like copied and paste, like what was it, Fairy Tale, like
Elden Zero,
Yeah.
Fairy Tale in Space.
yeah, dude, like because
That's what I mean,
that's
like,
what
they
worked
just
for him, because
copy
the series prior to Fairy Tale, like all his series prior to Fairy Tale, they just went like they didn't do anything for him. But once Fairy Tale, you know, was like lightning in a bottle, so he was like, I gotta keep this going, you know, like even if Fairy Tale is out.
Well, and
you know?
the thing is, he'll still have people who love that stuff, and he'll get guaranteed sales, right? So I understand from his perspective, it's like it's a safer option, rather than trying to do something new. Example, the guy who did Naruto, right? He finished it, and he tried doing something new, and it didn't work out, while someone else did Boruto.
Yo, what he did, the series after he did Naruto, I can't think of the name of it, but it was actually
Samurai.
pretty good.
I can't think it.
It was Samurai.
Yeah, well,
Right.
yeah, we
It
were
was
speaking
just
about
so
this
far
before, though.
different, but I think it was pretty good, and I think it needed to be more fleshed out. I don't think it gave it enough time, or they didn't give it enough time to like trim the flesh out.
They did.
It was like seven. It was like seven and freaking 7 chapters. They were like, "Oh, nope, that's it for you." Like, whoa, what? You know, like let this thing develop out a little bit.
So what he did with Samurai 8, from what I gather, was, you know how like with most shonen, they kind of let the world building kind of just metal and build it up, story, you know, piece by piece, but it's a lot of action going in, so it just keeps people hype and engaged. With Samurai 8, he kind of flipped it. He kind of tried to get all of the world building out of the way first, but because people's attention spans are so short nowadays, it's like that was just it was a bad thing to do at that time, because like I thought the world building, the power scaling, and all that was set up perfectly.
Yeah, it was.
And
The characters were interesting as hell.
Yeah,
like the tale
characters
behind
were interesting.
it.
The world was interesting, but you know, just because people's attention spans are so short, you didn't get the time to get to the meat of the plot.
Yeah,
and then when you saw the ending, where you pretty much had to skip past everything, it was like, yo, this would have been crazy if we actually got the fleshed out story. So
yeah, bro. Like,
I mean, sadly, like that's actually like even with writers, that's the biggest mistake people do. They always want to do all the world building and everything. The problem is you don't care about the story yet. Like it's cool having all this world building stuff, but most people are like, "Why do I care about this world building? Because I don't know the characters in it yet. I don't have a reason to care about this grand war that's happened a long time ago. I don't have a reason to care."
And you just eat the appetizer, and you get and the appetizer wasn't right, dog. And you get up before the meal, dog. You just leave. I'm out of here, bro. That wasn't right, bro. I'm out. I'm out.
The thing is, manga can sometimes get away with it with like really good artwork or really good, like or what a lot of stories will do is they'll start the story in the middle and then go back. So then you're like, oh, I can put up with this world building because I know where it's going.
Yeah, because they have to kind of like, because like you said, with the attention span and everything, like you have to like kind of like start fast, and like show action right out the back, and we're like, oh, that's what we're getting, and then after that we're like, okay, like now you can tell it, but you have to take that first, I don't know, like 20 episodes to kind of like just throw us in there with some action. Let's get the feel of the character.
Right.
It's just like with a movie. Like if I'm like, it's like I love Christopher Nolan, but his movies can be slow and like draw it out. So but you have to know what you're getting yourself into, with him. So, but to someone else that don't know that, they turn on his movie, they'll turn on Tenet, and they're just like, what the hell?
This is the difference between web novels and novels. If someone's bought a book, they've already paid for that, so you can have a slow start because they're more likely to read the whole book because they've already bought it, right? But with web novels, because there's so many out there and the first few chapters are free, you got to hit them like straight from the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. So like they give you the first three to 5 chapters like free. Those 3 to 5 chapters better slap, or we're done with the series, bro. Like that's right. That's just the way this attention span work. Because like, I mean, just like you have no time already. You don't have any time, So like for me, like we work and stuff like that. So a little bit of time I do have, like if I'm gonna spend my 30-minute lunch break picking up something to read, it better slap like real quick, because if not, I'll probably never go back to the series. And then that's why why we do like our one shots on our channel. Like that's what that's for. Like give it a little turn real quick, and if it's not, we're just like get out of there, back, abort mission right now.
Could you imagine someone saying like, "Oh, it doesn't get good until chapter 200"?
That's
tough. Hey, I'm not reading 200 chapters.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a hard sell, bro.
No lie, that's what people say about One Piece. Like they be like, "Look, I know it sucks now, but when you get to Dressrosa, it is fire. I promise you."
But you know what? See now, like, and then like you said, with the whole that goes completely with the attention span thing, because you have to look like back then. If you'd have told somebody 15 years ago when the whole like anime manga market was so small, all you had was like 6 or 7. You tell them back then, they're fine with that because they're limited, But now you have new stuff dropping. Like just this week on Webtoons alone, you had like anywhere between 5 and maybe 7 and 10 new Webtoons dropping a day this week.
It was like 10 all in 1 week. Yeah.
Well, a day, bro. It was dropping them like daily.
Yeah, he sent me a screenshot and he goes, "How many new series are they releasing?" And it was something. I think they got a half $500 million cash injection, so they're now investing a lot of that money into
one shot
original
right
series.
Now. but look, bro, like, but that's the point. Like we like those 3 chapters they give you, or 3 to 5 pending. Those things are so important to like hit them correctly, because that's what brings us back, And if it's not,
I mean, I'm a binge reader, so like at the moment, like on Webtoons, I'll just if it catches my interest, like the picture and the synopsis, I'll subscribe, and I'm just gonna leave it for like a few months, and then come back.
I do that too.
Yeah. Me too.
But that synopsis got to slap, and then you push that image, and you at least look at the art and everything, or kind of how that first, like the first few panels look, and then you go, because I don't just be like, oh, that character looks cool, boom, and you don't know what the hell you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So, it's but yeah, the attention span thing sucks right now. It's the constant flux of content, man. It's just like a diarrhea of content, bro. It's out there.
Yeah. So, Jack, being a successful writer and author, what advice would you give to someone who's maybe trying to start writing their own novel or writing their own webtoon or book or whatever? What advice would you give them?
Well, the main thing is read, right? Read, like, if you're gonna write novels, read. If you're gonna, look at webtoons, read webtoons, because you have to try, like the way I do it. You analyze, why do you like this series? Like, what about this series do you enjoy? What does it do well? And then, how am I gonna put that in your work? And once you understand your feelings more of what bits you like, then you can write those into your story a lot better. And you definitely have to read basically to write, like especially if you want to write a top. Some people don't understand because they're like, oh, I don't know why this is number one, or I don't know why, like some people just say, I don't know why Solo Leveling is popular, it's a horrible story, like some people say. And it's like, you need to forget about your own personal opinion and kind of see just why do people enjoy it, right? And this is more how to write a successful story rather than how to write a story. Right, exactly. But you need to analyze, like, what do people like rather than what your own opinions are, because some people don't realize they like niches, stuff like that, which is fine. I would say definitely write what you enjoy. Luckily, I love writing. The good thing about me is I love mainstream stuff, so I write mainstream stuff. So that's good for me. But if you like I like music, or like we said about sports, right? I love reading sports things. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for that not to be a breakout hit, because there's only so many people who like sports series and stuff like that.
Right. Yo.
Wait. One second.
Oh.
All right. You good? Go ahead.
Oh, we good?
Yeah. I seen the timer stop for a second, but yeah, we're good.
All right. So if there was, okay, so we know you have your favorite webtoons, and we know how webtoons were doing. They have webtoon studios now, which is gonna make like TV shows, live action movies, anime. Hopefully, again. Which anime or which webtoon series would you like to see get an anime or maybe a sequel, another season? Do you have your personal favorite that you kind of look forward to or wanting to get that shot?
It depends, because, like, to be honest, like, when I used to read a lot of webtoons, I read the, like, OG ones that were on there, like Tower of God and High School, God of High School and stuff like that, and they got turned into animes.
Yeah.
So, but like, I like. See, my favorite ones are like I have two types of stories I read at the moment: system stories, which can be the main character has a system or they enter a game world. I really like the ones where they enter like a VR MMO. And the other one is like the school kid gang high school type like stories. Weak Hero. Like Weak Hero and Look His stuff like that. Like, I love those series, and I think there's a draw, like, because my story is based around high school as well. Like, the kids are around that age. And I think the reason why high school stories do well is because everyone has been through high school. Right, everyone can relate to that. So when you're reading these stories, you're like, oh, I know what it's like. And you can imagine yourself in that situation. Because when you read the stories, it's to escape from real life. And you're imagining, like, what would I do if I was the main character? Like, what would I do if I was this person? How would I stop the bullying? You know, what would I do if I turned into a vampire and stuff like that? So, that one of those shows I'd like to see. But I'm trying to think of a series that has really top artwork. Like, I like Omniscient Reader. That's got really good artwork. So, like, the good artwork ones I'd want to see turned into animation.
My vote right now, I would have to say, it's three. My vote would be either Windbreaker, Lookism, or Jungle Juice.
Yeah, I love all the YLab series. I love it. Like, I did a post on my Instagram because they do they do a universe. So Jungle Juice is part of a series called Super String. So that's all of their series linked together. So like I love the YLab series, but what was your first one? The reason why I'd say Windbreaker is because that's not popular enough, and I would love an anime to make it more popular.
I agree. It's so I tell G to read it all the time, but he never listens to me. I'm like, G, I promise you would love Windbreaker, fam, and he don't.
What about you, G? What's your what do you want to be turned into anime?
Man, I'm stuck on this hardcore leveling thing right now, dude. Like that's my series right now. Like I love that series. I love the whole thing. How he like was super OP, and then this random person showed up on the scene that was like a glitch in the gaming world, smacked him and de-leveled him all the way to level 0, and he has to grind himself all the way back. Because we kind of been there. It's like for me, like I play a lot of the Soulsborne games. So like what it's like to like grind and get 300,000 souls to level yourself up once. All you need is this ledge and this fool chasing you and going on like a rapid slash attack to hit you, and you die and lose everything. Like I feel that.
The only thing I don't like about I can't remember what the series is called that you just said.
Hardcore leveling.
Hardcore leveling. Yeah, is I don't like the main character that much.
I don't either. But the it's because I don't like his like how he is.
Personality.
Yeah, because he was was this big brass, like, well, he was number 1, so it kind of comes with it, you know, like when you're number 1. But the what makes it more interesting is that like I didn't like him in the beginning. I liked his little protege, the one he has to level up, because that's the story's actually of him leveling up Dark, right? So with Dark, but the more you get into it, you find out that Ethan, which is hardcore leveling, where he knows that game like the back of his hand. Like he wasn't just a high rank because he got into debt, because you know his whole debt situation is him like borrowing to get more armor and stuff like that. But that guy knows the ins and outs of the games. Like he knows like someone would do a spell, or someone would do a trap. This guy knows like the hidden words to use to defuse this trap. Like he knows so much. He knows the nuances of the game. So this guy's just like a master of the game, not just like a meathead within the game.
I think I prefer, like, because I've read a few web novels, gaming ones, that are like about what you're saying. What I prefer when they do that is when they reincarnate. So what usually happens is they die at the end of the game, and then they go back to the beginning. Like someone's betrayed them, right at the end, and then they go back to the beginning and they know the game inside out.
That's kind of like, what that is, because he knows he knows everything.
That's what I mean. From that, it doesn't like. Yeah, I just don't, because like I said earlier, I like to pretend to be the main character, and I know what you mean. He does grow as a character, and that's character development, and you start liking him like halfway through the series, but just at the beginning, because at the beginning I was like, I really don't want to be this character.
The tale that starts being told though, like the treachery that went along, because he was a part of a guild, like the more you find out, bro, and you see like the story is being told, like is legit, like there's this one guy named Constant who was like this weak guy, and he reminds him of Dark. So that's kind of like where he like looked at Dark like, oh, I don't know about this, but I need this money to get out of this debt. Constant betrayed their guild, dude, and they were they're in the game. There's guild challenges, right? And they were the first guild that was about to complete like this huge guild challenge, and this guy betrayed them for the big corporation that actually runs the game. Like in like where I just got like he just seen this guy, and now he's like way more stronger because now he has money and backing from this big corporation that plays the game. Like it's crazy, dude. Like I love it. I'll
reread it. I was going to say the other aspect I didn't like when he was doing it is that there was a feeling of, and I get that this is his character. There was a feeling of chance or RNG involved, right, with the luck and the golden coins, and it feels like. What do they call that? They call that something. They call that something in writing where, like, you put a character into a situation and they just pull something out to
plot armor. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of Cards.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard card stuff, and I don't like that too much.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. That kind of like starts calming down. And right now it's because like the weapons, the armor he wield. So in the beginning, the weapons and armor he end up having because he borrows it again. He has to use that luck to like even wield the weapon, because the sword, to use the sword he actually has, he needs over 250 strength or something like that. The guy's walking around with like 70 strength. Like, so yeah, so it's times where like, yeah, he uses it and he gets it, but then there's times where it's just nothing like that. Like he kind of gets obliterated.
Because Overgeared is another VR MMO story as well. But that one is like, and that character's horrible as well at the beginning. Exact same, like he's a selfish asshole. Same as Thingy. But like he grinds for it. It seems like he really like, because he fails and is unlucky, he keeps doing it until he gets lucky. It's like that seems more rather than RNG. But like I said, it's not I don't like the series. I actually do like Hardcore Leveling Warrior. I stopped at the first season. Right at the end of the first season, I caught up to the latest one, and then was like, later.
The difference between Hardcore and Overgeared is Greed and Overgeared. He actually sucks at the game. Like he literally sucks at the game. Like the people who create Satisfy, just looking at it is like, he should be so much better with all of the things he has, but he sucks so bad, and he keeps blaming the creators of the game. It's like, no, you just suck. And it makes it funny because he's actually a likable, funny asshole, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and in Overgeared, which I don't know if they do much more later on in Hardcore Leveling Warrior, but in Overgeared they involve the real world a lot more.
Yeah,
so like, because that's the thing. Because I know in Hardcore he was stuck in that building and stuff like that, and you never saw him like outside of it. But in Overgeared, he does become like a celebrity and everything, and the whole of Korea is behind him and everything. They like got grid and
pretty
stuff
much.
Like
they
that.
bring in one of these other characters that is like a huge celebrity, and they didn't even know played the game. So like, and they kind of like know the person and stuff. Like, it's
I got I'll reread it because I usually reread that with the other one that's nearly finished, the Gamer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Gamer, yeah. It's amazing how that's still going. Actually,
that was like the original system. Too.
That's why I like. It's amazing that that's actually still ongoing. Like I literally forgot about the game until you just said so. I'm like, damn, that is still going. Great. That is amazing.
That is quite. Hey, so your the webtoon that you're currently doing with the vampire system, is there going to be any differences to that from the novel? Because I know how like some stuff gets changed up. Or are you just going to keep it to the novel?
So at the moment I'm keeping it true to the novel because there's a lot of like world building ish things in there that need to be done just to explain things. Otherwise people will be confused as crap. But there's like 2,000 chapters of the web novel, and there's like only 53 weeks in a year, so it would take years to finish the webtoon. So I'm definitely gonna cut out bits that don't seem important. Basically, so it will be different, and I think that's good in a way because then it still gets people to read the novel. They can still be like, well, the novel's not going to be an exact replica of the webtoon, but it will follow the exact same storyline. Like nothing's going to drastically change.
Yeah,
that's the funny part about that. That's the funny part about that because you see in the community nowadays you have the webtoon only readers. Like let's say for instance, trying to get up a good one. Let's say the Solo Leveling, right? Just because we talked about that one. You have the light novel readers hating the webtoon in certain aspects because it left out critical information that would have made the story so much better and flow so much better. Or recently, if we want to go more recent, Omniscient Reader, where the official translation from webtoons, they changed the words of certain things. Yeah. And the light novel readers cannot stand it. It gets on their nerves. And I see it all the time in my comment section. They were like, here they go again, changing words, and it's not going to make sense down the line. And I'm like, give them a chance, you know. I mean,
to be fair, I saw on the Omniscient Reader, the webtoon actually went and changed one of the words because it didn't make sense down the line, because they called the character a reincarnator, and it was like that doesn't actually fit to the story, so they had to change it. But with the solo leveling one, what I didn't understand they did on one of the chapters is they included have you read the Ant Arc bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a scene where this old man gets really upset because of like, I don't know, he's watching a TV show and he's angry at the Ant Arc, and it never explains. It's in the webtoon, but it never explains why the hell they're showing that old man. And in the novel, it explains that he had paid all these hunters to go save his son on the island, and like he had spent all this money, and it doesn't explain any of that at all in the in the webtoon, but it shows them in the webtoon. So it made no sense. Like, why are we seeing this old man cry at the TV? It was like, so I understand that. Just don't include it then, right? Like, just don't.
Just keep that part out if you're not gonna expand upon what's the significance of this. So
it might be a change at the last second, though, right? It might be someone said, "Oh, let's put this in," and they were like, "Oh no, this is going to be too long or too many panels," or someone says, "Because I'm finding this like the pacing is different. Like, it's fine to pace it like this in a novel. For my webtoon, it's a bit slow. Like, it's already chapter 7, and we haven't seen anything vampire-wise."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to see this as well. Like, I'm gonna have to cut out bits to speed it up to get to that point.
Right. Definitely. So I guess it's all just about trying to find a perfect balance and pacing between the two. So to where because we know you can't please everyone. Somebody on whichever side is going to get upset, whether it's the light novel readers, the webtoon readers. You know, so one side is going to get upset, or both might get upset. You know, it's a lose-lose situation, but you can only do the best you can. You know, it's like, I'm trying, but you know,
as long as I think it's fine and good as long as it doesn't deviate like too much, because I've seen stuff where it's just like, oh, like those small instances you mentioned, like with Solo, and like that is so small compared to stuff I've seen or read. Because like, just read the Game of Thrones books, bro, and then watch the show. That's
yeah. Or
you're talking about changes.
What they did with,
you have no idea.
Like endings as well. Like, I don't know why some anime studios are just like, yeah, we're just gonna change the ending completely of this show, and then it's like, well, this isn't a what if world,
right?
Like, why would you keep so much to the book, and then at the end, I understand if they catch up and then they need to make their own crap up. That's understandable, because that happens a lot. But when there is material, like in Tokyo Ghoul, there was material. They decide to go a complete different way. It doesn't make sense.
Right. So I don't know, man.
That's where it just comes to getting true fans of the art to do, the adaptations.
Right. Speaking of that, just a quick side note. I know last time we talked about the King's Avatar, and after that, it was announced that season 3 was coming, and I was like, yes. And then I remember what we talked about and how he was like, the pacing for the Chinese adaptations are so fast, and then I was like, no. I was like, now I know it's probably gonna be so fast. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm still watching though. I'm still watching.
You get used to it, right? When you start, like, when you read so many Chinese comics and stuff, you just get used to it, and you're like, all right, I haven't just missed because sometimes you think like, oh, have I missed something? And then you're like, oh no, I haven't. They've just skipped several days without telling you, or skipped weeks.
Yeah.
Because it feels like sometimes they talk about a tournament in that episode, and then they end up doing the tournament in the same episode. It's like, what?
We have no transition or nothing. It's just there. And I thought, maybe it's me because it was my first time watching it, but I thought season 1 was paced really well. And then season 2, they was like, now we're just gonna skyrocket the pace for it. And I'm like, I guess. I mean, I can tell. But I was like,
they might have to do that because it's more like that one's more similar to like a sports show, where you can't just keep showing the same games, right? If you're watching a baseball anime, it isn't. And this is what I'm saying. Like when you're writing or watching something, you have to realize why do you like certain scenes, because if you watch or read a baseball manga, you're watching the same game all the time. Like you're watching a baseball match all the time. So why do you enjoy? What aspect do you enjoy of this baseball match, and how do they make it different for the next one? Like maybe next week they're going up against a team that cheats and is trying to beat up their players before they enter the match, and then one of their star players is injured or something like that and can't play. Like, so it's the drama around the actual match and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ace of Diamonds does that pretty well, which is one of my favorite sports series.
Yeah, I like Major. I like Major a lot.
Major, yeah. I haven't seen Major yet. I heard good things about it though.
Yeah, Major is probably the best. Like, it's got 5 seasons, and it's like you actually go from him being a child all the way to an adult. And like that's got real hype. Like that's got like Solo level from a baseball show, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things. Sports shows.
Right. I'm gonna check it out, man. Like I said, I heard a lot of stuff about Major, but I was like, I don't know, because especially if it's the same sport, you're gonna always compare it to the first, series of that sports show that you watch. So like, for instance, if you start off with, let's say you watch Baby Steps, which is tennis. That was the first one you seen, and you enjoyed that story. And then you watch Prince of Tennis, or what was the more recent one that came out? I can't remember. I just saw it, but can't remember. But anyway, let's just go with Prince of Tennis. And you watch Prince of Tennis, and you're like, I like the trial and error of Baby Steps more than the OP. But if you would have watched Prince of Tennis first, and then you watch Baby Steps, you tend to like Prince of Tennis a lot more, because you're like, nah, he's way more badass than the character from Baby Steps, or whatever the case. And I guess it really just kind of all comes down to which one you watch first, because that first one is always going to have that lasting impression, no matter how good the other one or worse the other one be.
Yeah, it might depend what age you are when you watch certain stuff as well. Because at different ages, I definitely prefer different things. And with shows like One Piece, you can actually tell that it grew up with its audience.
Yeah, that's important.
It starts off quite childish, and through the years as it's gone up, it actually has kept the same audience as it gets more darker as it goes up, which is really well done, to be honest. So
yeah, that's really important too. That's how you keep us around. Growing up.
Definitely.
Yeah, like Naruto did it good as well. They did Naruto Shippuden, so it's split up, so you can kind of like, okay, watch this and watch this.
Right.
Although Naruto was dark from the get-go.
It was. We were getting killed from the beginning. Like, oh, well.
First Nine-Tail scene, bro. He was ripping up.
And all that crap with Gaara's family and stuff like that, and trying to kill him as a kid. It's like, God, if your parents knew you were watching that as like a 6-year-old, right. Like, what are you watching?
So will there be a sequel to My Vampire System? Once it's all said and done.
Well, it's hard to say, because like the story is so long, 3,000, like it might be 2,000, 3,000 chapters. It's already had its sequels. Like that is already, the series is already it's already 2 million words, which is twice as long as Harry Potter. So the series is already twice as long as Harry Potter. So to have a sequel of that, like, it's crazy. But
yeah, it's crazy.
I won't say no, because I already know the ending. I spoiled the ending. But like there is a possibility to expand on it, but I don't think I will unless I wanted to come back to it, or like I've seen like because then it feels like I'm not writing it for myself and I'm just writing it for the fans, or you're just coming back to it because your new work didn't make money, so you've come back to something that you know will make money.
But what's the genre outside of systems and your news story you're going to tell that you want to like try to get into?
The good thing is like with each system story, I'm exploring different series I like. So, example, I love Mafia series, and I don't think there's enough like Mafia or gang animes or series. Like, I liked Hitman Reborn, but it was so childish. So I wanted to make an adult version of like Hitman Reborn with the gang leaders and things like that. So I put that in my Werewolf, where they all have gangs and underground rings and stuff like that. So I'm already exploring like it's not, even though it's a system story and it's a different creature, it sounds similar. It's completely different. Where Quinn's story in Vampire System is based around military life and hunting beasts. To get better equipment, whereas my Werewolf system is going to be like gang stuff, because like I said, I love the high school gang stories, or like I can't think of a lot of that do it.
Yeah, that's true. I know you said you kind of want to dive into the psychological thriller, kind of like a Death Note.
Yeah.
Is that still on the table?
That's still one of my favorites, but like that's hard to that's going to be like, that would have to be a passion project, because I love, like you said, I love psychological stories like that, and I do have one written down, like a story planned, but yeah, that would have to be a passion project. It can't, to be honest, those stories can't, like, it probably could, but could you imagine it lasting for 2,000 chapters? Like,
I can't
it'd be
chapters, bro.
Yeah,
even Death Note got a bit dry towards the end of it. So like, yeah, even Death Note went on a tiny bit too long to make it perfect. So I can't. If I did one of those, it'd be quite a short one, but I would definitely want to do one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say Death Note should have ended once he defeated L, and that would have been like the perfect ending. But I was like, which after you see the rest of you, like, why did they nerf like so much in the end? Because they kind of nerfed him. Let's be honest. He was
bro,
like,
the chess game they played was fantastic, bro.
Right.
Not just that, N wasn't a good character. N, no one gave a crap about N. Like, there was nothing about him. He came out of nowhere, and then this guy that we haven't been seen his story or whatever rooting for managed to defeat Thingy. Like, I don't think it should have ended when he defeated L. I think it should have continued for a little bit more. Like, the scene with him killing his father by accident is still good as well, because you see him go down that dark path. But all the crap after that was like, oh, what the hell? Yeah. Or L should have caught him. Even after his death, L should have done something to manage to catch him. That would have been good.
Right.
Definitely.
Like, had to play the part in it, huh? Like, something he set in motion that ended up catching him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was that smart. He could have did something like that.
Yeah, and you could have switched it, like, L caught him in the end, had this...
Yeah, or it would have been really cool if, like... So you say N had been given instructions by L, everything that he should have done. That would have been a nice, like, roundup. Like, it wasn't actually N's doing. L said everything that would have happened did happen, and that's how N caught him. So it's just N was a nobody cares character.
Pretty much. But I definitely want to thank you for doing this with us. I know you're busy. I know you took time out, getting those chapters ready, because we don't want nobody to get upset with you and then blame us. Be like, why did you keep him so long when he has to be writing these chapters?
Down thumbs on the video.
because we got the next chapter delayed, so we don't want
that out. Yeah, we don't want none of that smoke.
Yeah.
No, like I said, because we've done this 3 times, so people don't realize. But I was saying I like talking to. I think that's why we go on a tangent, is because we like anime, we like manga, like web, and there's not enough people that we know in real life that we can like talk to about it. So it's really nice to do this.
Quarantine, you can't talk to nobody.
Right. Can barely go anywhere or do anything. So it's like I said, I enjoy it personally. You know, the more, you know, we can always talk. And like I always say, man, anytime you just want to chop it up, you know, you got some free time, you just want to chop it up, just
announce something, you can, bro. We ain't gonna stop you, bro.
Right. Like I said, I'm always down. Just hit me up in either Discord or Instagram.
For sure.
And you know, we'll be there, you know, because like I said, we love talking to people about stuff like this too, and just to get insight on the world of an author, the life of an author, it's a successful author at that. Is always good insight and always a good learning experience, especially for those who are trying to get into that medium. So definitely want to thank you again for this. And is there anything you want to say or plug at, you know, as we're ending? Anything you want to go ahead and plug?
So just so follow, if you want to read the web novel, it's just on webnovel.com. So you can either type in my author name, JKS Manga, or My Vampire System. If you want to find out more things about being, if you type in JKS Manga into YouTube, there's like or my Facebook JKS Manga. There's so many interviews that I've done. Not quite as long as this. This is very chilled and relaxed. But that just talks about like what it's like being a web novel author. What it's like in case anyone else wants to do this as a job or do this as a living.
Right. So he said it first right here that we got to know him. Everybody else is just business. So you got to come to the fix and get to know the person. See how chill he is.
That's why I said in
a relaxed situation.
That's why I said in the beginning.
Gotta have a brew and everything.
We're like we're best friends now. We're best friends now. I said
like,
in the beginning.
I expect to do this next Saturday. No, I'm just playing, but
I Google my name sometimes, right? My pen name, not my real name, but I Google my pen name, and I just see so much hate on me, right? So it's like I saw someone like say, "Oh, I love the story, but I hate the author," and I'm like, "How can you hate someone you've never?" I was like, I've never talked to these people or interacted with them or like, I just have my book out. How can you hate the author? And then people are like, yeah, I agree, the author's an arse. I was like, where have they watched some video of me that I haven't like seen myself or something?
Yeah, and then you're active in your Discord too. I mean, you drop your but you talk with your fans stuff like.
That's what I mean. So like, I don't. And the thing is, people are like, oh, just ignore it, and I do ignore it because there's like 100 good comments and one bad comment, but it really affects you when you read. Let's say you read 10,000 comments, then those 100 bad comments become 1,000 bad comments, and then you're still reading 1,000 bad comments about yourself. So it builds up, even though the percentage is still 1%. It's still different reading one bad comment compared to 1,000 people hating you.
Because you got to realize there's still 1,000, dude. Where there's 1%, that's still a huge fucking number.
Right.
A lot of people are just like, I get a lot of like, oh, my vampire system's overhyped, or that's it doesn't deserve to be number one, etc. And then I realize all these people saying that have never even read the book. Like and you can tell,
and they just mad whatever they like is not number one, bro. So
exactly, yeah. So they see it and then they're like, oh, vampire. And the thing is, it's not a typical vampire story. That's the thing. So they see it and they're just like, oh, vampires. Why is that number cringe, trash, edgy? All these words and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's so cringy. And then if I ask them, so what did you find cringy about it? They've got no answer because they've never read it before. So it's like
one of those things, man. Definitely one of those things. But again,
we appreciate your time, bro. For the third time. For those who don't know, this is the third time. We had technical issues the last two times. We have to thank this man. This guy's a trooper. We technically all are troopers, but we had to thank him more so because I mean it's late where he's at, and he has a incredibly busy schedule. The time difference alone, dude, is something to overcome. Yeah, so dude, we just thank you and thank you. We can't thank you enough, man, for giving us this opportunity again.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So again, like I said, hit us up whenever you just want to chill and talk. And we down, I'm down, G down. You know, we gonna talk, man. Especially and if you're going to any cons or anything in the future, definitely let us know, and we can all meet up. You know, go hang out. Get something.
We can film it, do it like a vlog as well.
Yeah, that would definitely be
before
nice,
you go.
Man.
Can you give us a hint to when the zombie system's coming out?
Oh yeah, I think it'll be at the end of this month.
What? Haven't you plugged that, bro? Like, you gotta let us know. Like, you talked about, you explained the series. Hold on.
I don't know yet. I haven't even written the first chapter. I shouldn't say that. I don't even. I've got like a lot of
like, we got a world exclusive right now.
I say a month or 2 months, but I'll let you guys know before, and then you can maybe what I might do for the zombie one is make it a bit more like a light novel where you have words and some illustrations. Mm-hmm. So it helps people more like you guys who don't read web novels too much. Mm-hmm. And then that way you have like the images next to it, but not full out webtoon yet. Because it's a lot of risk. I gotta make sure it's big and popular first before making it into a webtoon.
Right.
But yeah, I'll let you guys know when I do know when it's out.
Here, hold it out. So we had a whole 10-minute segment. He could have mentioned that.
I'm not sure. Like some crap came up with my dogs and stuff, so I'm not sure.
I'm just messing with you, man.
It's all good.
But that just shows you how this 3-week thing has like come into a relationship. Like, we could joke like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and that's the thing. It was 3 weeks ago when you asked me that question.
That's true.
So now it's been 3 weeks later. It's like, it's now coming up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He probably gave us a date 3 weeks ago, and we're like, "When is coming, man?" It's like the date's like right around the corner.
Actually, I forgot. It's like, right.
That is wild. I totally forgot about that. Oh man.
Yeah,
fun times.
It is crazy. Definitely fun times. Great stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and let you go, man. Again, thank you, and thank you, everybody. You know, y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. All of his links will be in the description below, so definitely join and support him in each and every one of these links that will be down there. And leave a comment. What was your favorite part of the interview? What was your thing that you enjoyed the most, the knowledge-wise? Because a lot of knowledge
was dropped in this questions, because this is not going to be the last time we have him on for sure. Maybe we'll get you back whenever your zombie system first launch or something. You can give us some more little intel into that. We'll try to get you back soon. But always your questions, so we can give this guy the questions all about our fans, and his fans. So
definitely. Right, so definitely put your questions that you want answered. And for those of you who like One Piece, his favorite character is Zoro, okay? So don't worry. He's a Zoro guy. He's a Zoro. All the Sanji guys, it's okay. Don't worry. There's other people out there that like Sanji, so don't be upset. All right. Good.
All right, so
peace out. We will catch you guys. Peace, man.
Toodles.